everyone, I'm back today with my June design team project for the Graphics Fairy. So this is the project that I've created, a traveler's notebook size journal, and the kit that I have used from the Graphics Fairy is called Purple Ephemera, and I'd like to show you some of the things that are included. So this is a really big kit. So not only does it come with printable papers, which you'll see in my journal, but it comes with all of this ephemera. So these postage stamps in various sizes, a collage sheet with some labels and just some images here, some pre-made journaling cards, more journaling cards with some sayings. I mean, it's just beautiful. The colors in this kit are gorgeous. And then it also comes with a couple of different sizes of file folders, and you'll see how I've used those in my journal as well. So let me show you how I have used those printables. Now, the greatest thing about the Graphics Fairy printables is that you can resize any of these. So for instance, these postage stamps, so you'll see that they come in a variety of sizes, but if you reduce this to 75%, they're going to of course be smaller, but you can size this to whatever size you need for your project. So I love that about the Graphics Fairy kits. So let me show you what I've created. Now, I love purple and green together, so that's what this journal is. So it's really purple and green. So for the cover, I have used just some scrapbook paper. And I have taken one of the images and resized it and then cut some of the edging strips here. You'll see I've added a little bit of age tape. I've added a vintage envelope that had this purple stamp on it. From the same image, which I'll show you as we get into the journal. So from the same image where I've cut this, I've also cut out the center part and stamped notes on it. And then I have used a bit of coffee dyed lace and a little bit of trim here for the spine. And I've just closed it with a little bit of twine here. This envelope on the front is from 1953, so it is vintage, and I have left it open at the top so you could tuck a tag in there. So going inside, you can see part of the kit is this beautiful purple stamp paper, and I've just left it plain because I just thought it was just so beautiful, and the colors in this kit just gorgeous. A little bit of trim here, a little bit of stamping. And so this is the image. There's a couple of these in the kit. So a little journaling card. You can resize this to be bigger, to be smaller, whatever fits your project. And then I have just added a little tag with some trim, that same green. And then I've just chosen a piece of ephemera here that has a little bit of purple on it as well. I've added a little bit of craft paper because I do love craft color as kind of a neutral. Added a little bit of purple seam binding, some vintage bridge score paper here. Now here I have created just this kind of collaged piece. I just wanted something that looked vintage, so I've used some vintage wallpaper scraps, a little bit of vintage music paper that's handwritten, some French calligraphy paper here. I've added a vintage button and just some doily, and then this is just a gorgeous vintage photograph here. I hope you can see that, and I've just clipped it on with a rusty paper clip. Just some coffee dyed ledger paper there. This really was the paper that I took my jumping off point from. So you can see it's got pink, it's got the purple, it's got green, and it's also got just a little bit of turquoise. So you'll see I've used some turquoise throughout this as well. Isn't that gorgeous? And another vintage envelope here with another purple stamp. And I have attached that to this page at the back. And it is open here on the side. I don't have anything in it, but it's a great spot to put a journaling card. A little bit of stamping here as well. I've also, so you'll see throughout this that there's a little bit of a postage stamp, an envelope, kind of letter theme. And so this is a piece of a letter that I've just folded around to create a couple of tuck spots here. A little bit of trim, little to-do list. And then this is some of the printable paper from the Graphics Fairy from this kit. I printed it on vellum and then just sewed it on to this index card and stamped notes on it. A little bit of twine at the top there. On this side, just a little tag with some trim again, and then this is a vintage French piece. I thought that was great, so it's just a great addition. And a little tab here, another vintage French piece, and here's where I've drawn in the turquoise color from that paper that you saw a bit further on. So this is a long envelope that I've just folded up to make a pocket. A little bit of trim and a doily at the top. This is from the kit, printable. I thought it was a cute little journaling card. And then I've just used a die cut to cut this out and stamped notes on it. More craft paper that I've embossed with a little tab at the top. And then just a purple floral postcard there. Here in the center of the signature, I have just a vintage envelope. And then in this bag, I have added a lot of the printables that you can find in this kit. I've cut that tag, I've cut out one of the butterflies, and all of these things could be added throughout this journal. So you can see some of the stamps here, and the image of that bird, and then a couple of the labels that could be used throughout. On this side, I have the other part of that bridge paper that you saw a little earlier. This is the other part of that paper. And then I just have a little pink coffee dyed tag here that I've embossed again. And then this is, you remember the file folders that I showed you at the beginning. So this is one of the file folders. I've stamped notes on it, and I have added a little bit of trim from one of the journaling cards, and a little bit of lace to create this. And I thought this was a great place to, you know, of course, store something as a file folder, but you could also add a photo here, do some journaling, or you could also sew in a few pages and make this a little extra little journaling booklet for your journal as well. This is some coffee dyed, transparency paper, not transparency paper, what not tissue paper. Anyway, tracing paper, that's it. Sorry. So this is coffee dyed tracing paper. I've got some coffee dyed lace here, and then some of my aged cellophane tape. Sorry about that. More stamping. The other part of this turquoise envelope, and so this is the image that I have used, that I resized and used this trim on the edge for the top and bottom of the front cover, and this is the image here. You can see the floral oval there. That's what I have used on the cover as well, and stamped that notes. So just beautiful. A little bit of French ephemera that I've backed onto some coffee dyed paper for more journaling space. and another embossed tag here. And I've done a little bit of stamping there at the bottom. And the other side of that French ephemera piece. In this pocket, I have another envelope that is from 1950. It brings out this kind of turquoisey color, and then it's just a piece, it's just the front of an envelope, and I thought that would be a great journaling spot. And another sized tag from the kit, and then this is a craft color receipt that is some vintage ephemera that I had. On this side, on this page, I have used some of my favorite lace here for a pocket, and my notes stamp again, and a vintage craft colored French tag. And then here I have die cut some of the paper that I used on the cover, and then added this really pretty floral rose. On this side, I just clipped a little journaling card, The Language of Flowers. So as you can see, lots of space. I always like to leave lots of space for journaling and pictures in my journals. Here I have this pink is some vintage French. It was like a program for a show, and so that was just a little bit of extra that I had left that I've put there. I've used some of the stamps from the kit, and then here I have used one of the florals from the Blissful Blossoms bundle, and sized it for a journaling card. And then this is from the vintage postcard bundle, and of course this is the perfect color of turquoise to go in this journal, so those tuck in there. I've left that as a fold out. On this page, I've just added a few sheets of coffee dyed notebook paper here, just for some extra journaling space. And here I have clipped on the larger file folder that you saw earlier, but I haven't left it as a file folder. I have added some pieces to the side to make it into a pocket. So you could, of course, leave it as a file folder, use it as a journaling spot, make it into a booklet, or you could do this in the center of the signature. So I could have sewn it into the center of the signature here. I could have left it open and added some pockets this way, but I could also have used these same gussets to make it into a pocket for the center of the signature. So these file folders are really very, very versatile. So for this one, I've just added a little bit of craft paper at the back, stamped notes, and some cheesecloth there. And then in here, I have added a couple of pieces. So some ephemera from the kit, and then one of the Graphics Fairy printables. I've forgotten what bundle that is from, but it will be all listed in the blog post. I will have listed all of the bundles that I've used for this. So just some extra journaling spots there. The other part of the craft paper, and then that is the last page. So what a beautiful bundle this is, the Purple Ephemera Kit. There's just so many ways to use it, so many color combinations that you could use to just really showcase that bundle. So thank you all for watching. This is available in my Etsy shop. I'm going to link that below for you. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will see you back next month for another project.